Robbo, tough evening tonight for the Dons.
Yeah.
Obviously 3-0 defeat. What's your initial thoughts?
Yeah, exactly that. A real tough night. Really disappointed in the performance. Didn't see it coming, if I'm honest, Chris. Excuse me. No, didn't see that coming at all. Obviously, our last two performances, Atkins and Wickham, were really good, real high energy. You worry a little bit after 18 days what they're going to be like, but we've been training really well. I've got to look at that. I've got to look at our training regime. Did we do enough big pitch stuff? Because everything we're about just wasn't there tonight. There was a lack of energy. We looked lethargic. We never got going, and when we did get the ball, we gave it away cheaply. So all the things that we're good at, we didn't do. And and also have to be. They're a good side. Their movement was excellent. They passed the ball really well. And against any side, you can't afford to give the ball away, let alone against a side that are decent. So it was a long, tough night.
Absolutely. I felt they pressed us quite high from the off, as we probably expected them to do.
Yeah.
That's sort of a problem we're coming up against more and more as the season progresses because of how well we've played perhaps earlier in the campaign. Do you think the players are dealing with that well enough to overcome that problem?
Yeah, it's one game. This is the thing, everyone gets knee-jerk. 90 minutes doesn't define you. Same as 90 minutes against Aki and 90 minutes with Wickham when everyone's waxing lyrical doesn't define you. 90 minutes tonight don't define you. It's one game where we were poor on the ball and poor off the ball. And we have to look at why. They played with real high energy. Our movement was poor. We didn't ever really look confident on the ball. Our detail was poor. And as I said, our game is about hunting impacts. When we played them at home, we got around the ball really well. We hunted impacts. Tonight, we never got close to them. We didn't win our 1v1 duels. So then they're switching play for fun. And then it becomes hard work, and sometimes you can't explain it. I don't want to use the 18 days as an excuse because that plays the victim, but we look rusty. We look rusty and lethargic, so, we have to look at training. It's very difficult to recreate, game intensity. You can only do the best you can, but, the boys are really disappointed. Obviously, we're disappointed, but we can't let 90 minutes define us, and it won't define us. We'll come back, and we'll come back strong.
Couldn't agree more. Obviously went in 2-0 down at half time. What did you sort of say to try and lift the lads? Was there a few bowed heads that you needed to sort of get up again and sort of get them firing?
No, obviously they were disappointed, but we always come together and try and come up with solutions. So I said, look, they're playing well. They were on the front foot. They were full of energy. We weren't getting tight. We weren't getting close to them. I said, so there's two things you do. We either sit in a mid block, which isn't us, and play counter-attack football, which is what we do, and that's not our identity and where we want to go, or we try and get in their faces, get at them, lock onto them, and get our pressing right. And we started the second half for 10 minutes, okay, but then I think we got in the final third 2-3 times, and then we give the ball away again. And then, football's again, I would say it's about momentum, so you give it away cheaply, then you're getting stretched again. And as I said, we just didn't seem to have the energy levels to keep it going. So it's, we just have to look at everything, and as I said, it's not going to define our season. It's just a really disappointing night that we need to come back from.
Kaji made his first start since returning to the club. How did you feel like he got on tonight?
I think Eggs had a couple of moments, but he struggled like all the lads. I think, we had no good top performers tonight, and they all know that. We didn't have anyone that stood out tonight, whereas, Wickham sit there, I couldn't pick a player who didn't have a bad game, and it was the same against Accrington. Tonight, we didn't have anyone who performed. It looked a slog, it looked hard work, and, as I said, we just need to put it to bed and come back strong. I thought one positive was that when he came on, Zach Robinson.
Yeah.
I thought he's come on and he's done well. And so that's another positive. It's another academy graduate that's come on and dealt well with men's football. So we can take that from him.
Looking on the grand scheme of things, do you think this can be a good character building experience? With the group, a lot of them being young, obviously some more experienced than others. Do you feel like we can take a lot of positives from this in the long run when we sit down and look at it?
Yeah, that's the way we work anyway. As I said, you can't. We're never knee-jerk. We know this isn't good enough, nowhere near good enough. We were absolutely nowhere near it in every way. But you can't become a bad side overnight. You can't do what you did at Aki and do what you did at Wickham, although very different challenges, and then do what we did tonight. So, you know, as I said, it's my job to look at every little aspect from the training. Did we get that right? You know, did we do enough big pitch stuff in training? And, you know, because as I said, everything we're about, we wasn't tonight. But we'll get back to it and we will.
Lastly, attention's turning to the FA Cup with Boreham Wood coming up. What sort of test are you expecting them to pose to us, and are you going to look to rotate if you have a few players back?
Well, it'd be a different test, obviously, and you know it's a game that we want to win. But again, now we've got 10 days, not having the game on Saturday being cancelled. We've now got 10 days, so you know off the back of not looking sharp, we've got to look at what we do leading into that, so that we go into that game with absolute sharpness. So which we do, but every game throws up a different challenge. Tonight they were very, very good, and we didn't get anywhere near the challenge. Yeah, and the only problem we've had, Chris, is it being 18 days without a game is the fact you haven't known it's going to be 18 days without a game. So if you know it's 18 days, then you can really work the boys physically as hard as you need to. But obviously, after the Wycombe game, you're prepping for a game, and the game gets called off the day before, so you can't work them too hard because you're prepping for a game and the game gets called off the day before. And then it's the same for the Charlton game. You can't go too hard then because you're prepping, and that game gets called off the day before. So I'm not making excuses, but you know, you look and you go, well, have we worked physically hard enough for 18 days to be ready for this game? Well, probably we haven't. But you can't do that because you're prepping for a game at time and they're getting cancelled the day before. So it's difficult, but the good thing is now we know we haven't got a game for 10 days. So we need to look at the training programme, what we do over the next 10 days, and make sure that we're sharp and ready, because you know it's not fitness, it's just we just didn't look sharp, so we need to make sure we're sharp, ready for the FA Cup game.